Hello. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome. Hola. I hope everyone's doing wonderful. We are back. It's another week. I'm in season 2. Lots of wonderful guests. I love this. I love what I do. Well, wonderful guests, and today's going to be a great one. We're here to share her story, talk about the mayhem. I'm feeling fantastic after the weekend. I hope everyone else is too. We're here to share our powerful stories and our experiences. We're here to destigmatize and normalize mental health, disability, and trauma, all the things that I'm very passionate about. This is a place where I like to share my mayhem, have others come on and share their mayhem. We want to create opportunities through connection and be a voice to break stigmas and encourage acceptance. I always add my trigger warning, and I always encourage discretion as we do discuss things that can be a little mature in nature. And these are our opinions, our experiences. Now we're back for another week. Woo, woo, woo. I know everyone's filling into the chat, so I'm excited. I'm going to get to the chat. Very excited for tonight's episode. So please drop some love, show support. Let me know where you're checking in from. You know, I never ask, where is everyone checking in from? So if you're here, let me know. Why not? We'll ask where everyone's at today. I'm really excited because we're talking about something really important, and it just seems like there's a lot going on in society. And this is, National Coming Out Day. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm really excited to recognize that Indigenous People Day. Got to recognize that as well. So we're going to be talking about some good things, but tonight is about bullying awareness, National Bullying Prevention. So I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and let's get ready to bring out our guests so we can get this conversation and then we can welcome our chat together. This is my favorite part. So tonight I have the wonderful Betty Hoeffner, a bully prevention expert. She's a keynote speaker and co-founder and president of the nonprofit organization Hey U.G.L.Y, Unique, Gifted, Loveable You. I love the acronym. It's a 501c3. It's founded on saving the lives of young people who are suicidal due to bullying. She shares how she was bullied at school and also how she was a bully herself in school, relationships, and in the workplace. But she's an author. She's had some various books on bullying. She's developed highly effective anti-bullying programs in schools across North America. And she really empowers and has a vision to really be part of the solution to bullying, substance abuse, and suicide. She also hosts a radio show, which I'm so excited about. How fun is that? She's worked public relations in the past, and she really spends her time presenting in conferences for anti-bullying. She's been featured on TV, and she partners with organizations worldwide to inspire and build the self-esteem and empathy and enrich the lives of our children and youth. I'm so excited. I'm so very excited. So we're going to fight bullying tonight with my dear guest, Betty. Let's go ahead and let me get Betty here. Hi,
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you for listening to that whole intro, just like everybody else. But I'm so excited. Oh, I hear that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say hi to the chat because they've been waiting. So, hello, your Saturday night. Mackenzie, how are you? All right, Robert, welcome. Hi, Robert. Thanks for checking in. We appreciate you. I have somebody on D-Live. Hey, Jab. D-Live is in the house. I love it. This is nice to have someone on a new platform. So welcome. Rosemary's here. Hi, Rosemary. Happy Monday. Meet Betty. Meet Betty, Rosemary.
Hey, Rosemary.
Oh, goodness. James, of course. To hell with bullies. James is going to come with a lot of commentary tonight. I already know it. This is going to be great. Okay. So very excited you're here. Lots to cover. This is a busy time for you, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. National Stop Bullying Month was created by our first Stop Bullying Task Force. It was a group of 20 sixth grade students at St. Stan's School. And we took them through the whole program of asking them how would they like to be part of the solution to bullying. And then we took their wisdom, asked them all kinds of questions about the subject matter, and then published in a book called the Stop Bullying Handbook, so kids across the world could actually also empower themselves and then teach what they've learned to younger students. And one of the things that the students wanted to do way back in 2011 was to have a national month, a national day, and a national week. So we went to Chase's calendar of events and we set everything up, and we've been doing this since 2011. And it's a lot of, sharing information, free information, to be able to empower everybody else to be able to recognize when they're being bullied, when they're being the bully, when they're being the bystander, and things that they can do to help. Just, obviously a very easy task, make the world a better place, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is going to be good. I didn't even think of the bystander perspective. So look at that. Lots to cover.
Okay.
I don't know. So go ahead, share a little bit more about you, your work, and really where the passion comes from in this organization.
Well, I'll take you back to when I was a kid. I was bullied a lot at home. I was told I was never going to amount to anything, and I was constantly told I was stupid, and I felt worthless, and I didn't know what to do with that pain. So that's why I became a bully, because I didn't want anybody to realize that I was worthless. So I had to be the big shot. Everybody thought I had great self-esteem. I've had people say to me, well, Betty, people with great self-esteem, you don't need to worry about them. I said, I worry about them the most, because you never know what they're trying to cover up, because that's exactly what I did. And as I was speaking to you before the show started, one of the things you said, well, from a bully's perspective, what goes on, I had an innate ability to be able to figure out what your trigger was and to be able to push every one of those buttons, even though there was a voice in my head that was going, shut up, just stop. And I couldn't. And this went on for, I don't know why people were my friends, to tell you the truth, but it went on not only through school, but also, in relationships. And when I got into business, I was a bully boss. I was a bully girlfriend. And
do tell.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. And I had mentioned before the shows we were talking, it's easy to say I've been bullied, because I've been bullied. But to say I was a bully, I was the bullying individual, that takes a lot of courage. So I appreciate you really owning that, sharing that, and really taking it to change the lives of others, so it doesn't happen to others, what you were doing, putting on to others. So I love what Robert says at Hurt People. They say hurt people hurt people.
Yes, exactly. We have a program called Hurt People Hurt People. Exactly.
Robert, were you looking at my show notes? Are you looking? Oh, and he also follows that up with, now that's dangerous, a button pusher.
Mm-hmm. A button pusher. Exactly. So then when I hit 42, I was a successful publicist. I was traveling the world, hanging out with celebrities and stuff like that. But I was unhappy, and I was smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. So I quit my cigarette habit. I had a friend who was kind of, she was pretty, but she was just kind of gray. And then one day I saw her and she was glowing. And I said, Peg, what, my God, you look beautiful. What are you doing? She goes, I'm going to an inner child worker, and she's helping me get in touch with all of my inner pain. She had been sexually abused by her father when she was younger, so she was carrying a lot. So I won't lie, I started going to this inner child worker because I wanted to look that beautiful. But at the same time, I really wanted to change how I was feeling and change my life. So 2 main things happened. When I went in to see this woman, and keep in mind, as a bully, every time my dad would hit me when I was a kid, I would literally say to him, didn't hurt. And then he'd hit me again and I go, didn't hurt. And then so I spent the rest of my life, when anything hurt me, I stuffed it down, and I was stuffing it down with cigarettes. Some people use, food. Some people use drugs, alcohol. I was using cigarettes, stuffing it down. So I go in and I sit down with this woman. I don't cry, never cried. And she says to me, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I don't want to spend the next 42 like I did the first 42. And I broke down in tears and I could not cry. And I said to her, and I go, "Why am I crying?" And she goes, "Why do you shit?" And I was like, "Well, first of all, I think you and I are going to get along together really well. But second, what do you mean?" And she goes, "Every morning, do you go, what did I eat? What's going to come out?" She goes, "No, you have stuff inside of you and it needs to come out. You have things inside of you. And one of the best ways to get it out is through tears," which I had no idea. And so later on, and this is the second most important part for me, is she said, of course, I was having another problem in a relationship, because when you're a bully, when you're feeling worthless, you suck at relationships. And I did. And so she was asking me about the guy. She goes, "Well, tell me how you feel about him." And I went, "Well, he's smart, he's creative, he's successful, he makes me laugh." And she goes, "Okay, well, how do you feel about him?" And I'm like, he's smart, he's successful, like, what's your problem? And she said, "You're just telling me thoughts, you're not telling me feelings." And she said, she gave me a list of 100 feelings, and she told me to mark how I was feeling at the end of the day, every day, and then bring it back to her. That first night, DJ, I wrote down abandoned, alone, afraid, worthless. I was living my life in an extremely dark place. We are interacting with people out there that are operating in a very dark place, very sad place, and they don't even know it. So we were able to work through all of that stuff, and I was able to start making conscious choices once I got in touch with my feelings, which is why I developed that card game, so that we could choose to change, which is the name of the radio show, and make that conscious choice to sit there and go, cancel out negative thoughts you're having about yourself or somebody else and replace them with something positive. Just like we took the negative word ugly and turned it into the positive, unique, gifted, lovable you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
where did that inspiration come from the ugly? Was that something that you just heard a lot and then it just was natural? It was just, I know exactly what this is called.
My co-founder, way before, my good friend, Sporty King, he's a well-known, award-winning public speaker. He invited me to hear him speak to 350 middle school kids in Chicago back in 2002. And this is right around the time that I was going through the inner child worker, and I was starting to learn how to love myself and accept myself and forgive myself and seek forgiveness from others if I can. And so I went to see him speak to these kids. And he gets out on stage and he goes, "I am ugly, U.G.L.Y. ugly." And he tells the kids what it was like growing up in Harlem, New York for him, where he never felt good enough. He was never smart enough. He was never as good at sports and all this other kind of stuff. And then he says to the kids, "I felt so bad sometimes I even thought about killing myself. Anybody here ever feel that way?" And 2/3 of the kids' hands went up. And it was at that moment, because I had been thinking of it. This was right after 9/11. I had been thinking about getting out of PR and doing something to help kids, but I didn't know what it was going to be. So, and I was suicidal when I was a kid. So I'm seeing these young kids, 2/3 of them with their hands up. But then when they left the assembly, they're all going, "I'm ugly. No, I'm ugly. No, I'm ugly." And we're like, this is really something. So I said to Sporty, I go, I want to do something. I want to turn this into something. Let me help you. And he goes, "All I want to do is public speaking. Do whatever you want to do." And so our whole thing is treating young people like we'd like to be treated. We don't tell them anything. We elicit their wisdom. We get them involved in peer-to-peer learning and teaching other kids what they've learned, so that, the teacher become all of that other kind of stuff. But so Sporty King is the one who invented unique, gifted, lovable you.
Okay. Lovable. I'm going to put it up here. Lovable. Yeah. Add. Let's see. So there, I put the website up, heyugly.org, and then the acronym. And so, yeah, that's great website, 501c3. You have a lot of information on there. You have a lot of social media on there. Lots of speakers and lots of amazing like gifts and goodies. So I was so fortunate that Betty sent me some wonderful goodies. Been having fun. So I'm wearing her bracelets tonight that I got. Let's see. This one says heyugly.com and it's upside down, but and this one I love the most. It says I'm enough. That's one for me because we were talking about my backdrop, positive affirmations, empowerment. And for me, that's always been something that I needed to hear because of the low self-esteem inside, right? That so when you wear these like bracelets and you can read that, I know that for me, it's very powerful. So, and that's my favorite color. So awesome. And I have one of these like steel ones that and they have some positive affirmations in there. So really, I really find that wonderful. Um, let's talk about this.
Ah.
I love this.
That actually came from my journey with the inner child worker. And okay, so with the stop bullying, we we ask the kids, why do people bully? Their number one answer is because somebody's bullying them, which is so true, right? How does it feel to be bullied? What can you do to stop bullying? All these different questions. Well, then we became part of the drug-free partnership, and I wanted to get into substance abuse prevention. And so we went and we started asking kids. Well, first we met with some PhDs and we came up with all the questions we were going to ask the kids, and we're saying, give us as many answers as you possibly can, just in case we have to gently guide, some of the kids.
Yeah.
And the kids came up with better answers. But the first question is, what causes young people? I go, how would you like to be part of the solution of all the pain that you guys are suffering out there, and you can be able to, feel better? And so they're all going, yeah. And so I go, well, I'm going to take your answers and we're going to put it into a book. And the first question is, what causes you guys pain? And the number one answer is being beat by our fathers. That was the number one answer. And then so we say, well, what do you do with your pain? And then they talk about how, cutting, suicide, drug abuse, substance abuse, all this other kind of stuff. And then we ask, well, what are some healthier ways to deal with your pain? And then they come up with those answers too. So, and the key is in a peer-to-peer environment, if there's someone that's suffering, they might not even know, like I didn't know that I was suffering. And one of these things could trigger that deep awareness that you need to have in order to be able to take those steps to deal with it. And then the important thing is to feel it. And then lastly, heal it. And it's all about becoming the you want to be. That's a whole reason for this book. And there's
I love it.
Yeah.
There's images, there's like things you can do in there, like motivators. I mean, it's really like not just a plain old book, but like a workbook. Like it's great. And kids, like it's their work. I mean, it even says it on there. 53 amazing students contributing to that.
Right.
Yeah. Now, there's one question I have to ask because now it's caught me 2 to 3 times. And you said parents, fathers, bullying. So I'm going to kind of say, when I think of bullying, I think outside of the home, right? I tend to think outside the home, whether it be in school or summer camp or something like that. Normally it's school. But can we talk about bullying in the home and maybe distinguishing that? Because even for me, I'm a little confused and I would just like some more clarification. Now, I know that this can also start to go into abuse, right? Trauma, like the real hard words.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's strong language saying, beat or hurt physically, by your parent. But within the home, like really breaks my heart. So is that common? Is that like...
It's extremely common, and verbal abuse is even worse than the physical abuse. But, for most people that saw the very first Karate Kid, remember the jerky kid, the big bully kid? And then there was a scene where there was a barbecue at his house, and you could see his dad giving him a bunch of trouble, and you could see the bully's energy just be sucked out of his body, and he just becomes like this. And there's other movies that you'll be able to see where the big shot, all this other kind of stuff, they're that way because, like me, I didn't want anybody to know I was worthless, so I had to cover it up because I was thought to be worthless by the way that my existence was in my home. It wasn't, like the most terrible childhood, and there were some wonderful things, and I understand why it happened and all this other kind of stuff. But still, when you're doing inner child work, you're dealing with that kid inside of you that might still be in pain. And I wanted to talk to you about ACEs, which is really important for any of the people that are watching the show right now. ACEs, it stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. I heard a speech by the guy who started it. He's a surgeon, I think a heart surgeon, and he was talking to a friend of his at the CDC, and he goes, "What's causing all these problems with, the heart that I have to do this?" And the guy's saying, "Well, obesity." And that guy goes, "Well, what's causing the obesity? And what's causing this?" And so they went and they narrowed it down to adverse childhood experiences, things that happened to us when we were a young kid. There's actually a test that you can take that will show you, depending on the number, what the chances are that you or the person who's taking the test will have for suicidal ideation, for alcohol abuse, being jailed, all this other, other kind of
risk.
stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. And there's people that get abused so bad at home that they block it, that they don't even know what it is. There's a great movie on Netflix about the guy from Saturday Night Live called Cracked Up. And this guy, he's one who did all the impressions of Bill Clinton and all the other kind of stuff. His name doesn't come to me right now, but
someone in the chat will know.
Yeah. Anybody know Cracked Up?
Who Cracked Up? The Netflix movie. Somebody research it and pull it into the comments. Real quick, I'm going to stop you there, Betty. Robert Berry says he does. Yeah, Karate Kid really showed the nature of bullies. So he agrees. He also adds, bullies often lash out to cover up their own pain, which I agree. I mean, I've heard that for a long, long time. I do want to go back to James's comment. Thank you, James, for sharing. I was bullied at school because I can't walk well because of the cerebral palsy, I assume, or cerebral palsy. I'm going to assume that that's CP and arthritis. So, right. So thanks, James. You're always awesome when you're here. And I love James's comment, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. That's why we're here, James. That's right. We are here to be part of the solution. And hello, Gabe. You made it. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate your support. Late to the party. Don't worry. But yeah, stop in. Mosey on if you need to. It's okay. We just appreciate your hello. We got the answer. Daryl Hammond. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Daryl Hammond. Thank you.
We got the winner. Winner. Thank you. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you. Oh, wait. Robert knew too. Cracked up the Daryl Hammond story. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So go ahead.
So Daryl Hammond, he was addicted to drugs, alcohol. He was in rehab places. They diagnosed him as this and put him on those meds. They diagnosed him with that, and they put him on other meds. And he was suicidal. He had 2 suicide attempts, and on and on and on until finally he was in one rehab place, and the doctor that was dealing with him said to him, "It shouldn't be caused." He said it shouldn't, because I forget what he called it. But it should be called mental injury. You were injured as a child. And Daryl had no idea what happened to him when he was a kid. And then when he faced it, that's the key. When you face it, that's the key to begin the healing. Exactly.
I know. Okay. Look, we got to keep it moving because we're going to run out of time. So we're going to talk about these 2. Because you just got these. These are new to the workbook for the kids. Not even for the kids, for all of us.
For everybody.
This is great. For service providers, people that work with kids,
right?
Providing them assistance and services. So I don't know how we're going to play with these, but I know we're supposed to be playing with these here.
Well, I can tell you, and
Hi,
the reason why these are so important. This is part of the Deal, Feel, Heal program, and so we take the kids and we break them out in groups. 3 kids, 3 kids, 3 kids. We give them each a deck of cards. There are 25 love energy. All of your emotions boil down to 2 things: love and fear. So there are 25 love energy cards. There's 25 fear energy cards, and each one has an opposite. Because Buddha said, if you want to get out of one energy, go to its opposite. And we have wild cards, and the wild card is gratitude. Because gratitude, when you're feeling gratitude, it'll actually help you to be happy. So there's all kinds of different games you can play with this. And
that's my favorite card, is the inclusive card. That's the one I had chose. I'm like, that's the one that resonates with me the most, that inclusive card.
So there's an opposite in there somewhere if you want to try to find it, but I don't know if we have enough time there. We could play war. You want to play a quick five things of war?
Just 5 things of war sounds like a lot, but yeah, okay, let's try this.
Pull up a card. What is it?
Any card?
Just pull up a card.
What card is that? Let's see. The inclusive card again.
It's the inclusive and confident. Okay, so nobody wins. Nobody wins. Put it down. We're both love energy. What's your next card?
Okay, we'll just take the next one off the top. I don't know.
What is it?
Criticized.
Criticized. Insecure. Okay, we both put them down because that's somebody that's criticizing somebody else. What's the next one?
The next card. Boop. I'm gonna turn that one around. Free.
And this is biased. So since you have a love energy card and I have a fear energy card, you win all the cards and you just won the war game.
Oh, yay, I won. How fun is that?
But on the website, it's called Deal, Feel, Heal, playingcards.com.
Yeah.
And, it's got all these different games and exercises you can do.
Yes, you do have the little one card in there that kind of gives you some directions to the how you can use them. So I thought that was great.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be like lots of providers, people that work with kids and trauma in the system in the state. You know, I work. So yeah.
We have therapists that are using it with their clients too. Right. So if you go on there, you'll be able to see recommendations from therapists and counselors.
I want to share your website too, because we talked a little bit about that and I wasn't sure, but your website is a great resource. And I know that is where they can get the cards and order books, right?
Right. They can get that. And they can also almost anything that you can think about that might be causing you to feel bad about yourself or someone that you know to feel bad about yourself. We try to answer it in every way that we can. For example, we know that the top 2 influences of young people are their peers and then celebrities. So we have tons of celebrity quotes on bullying, on body image, all that other kind of stuff, so that they can see that someone who was bullied really bad can actually go on to achieve and get over it. There's cyberbullying, which is really huge. 50% of people are being
I'm trying to share my screen. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Here we go. Oh, we're going to do this together. We'll do it like this. What do you think? Is that good? There we go. So I got your website and I've got your merchandise, a lot of wonderful, like you were talking about.
Like the shirts. The shirts are really cool because when you wear them, people will stop you and start a conversation with you.
Yeah, laughter sizing.
Okay, so that happened because Michael Tremura, who wrote the book, You Are the Answer, he said, in order to elevate your spirit, you should laugh for 10 minutes every day. So I tried to find a laugh track and I couldn't. So I made one. It's 15 minutes of constant laughing, but then we loop it. So it's an hour. So your objective is to laugh along with it for 10 minutes. I got to tell you, it's a great workout. Your abs will be killing yourself when you get done.
Oh, goodness.
But then if you're stressed out, play it quietly in the background because it'll put a little smile on your face as you're doing whatever project you're doing. But yeah, we get kids. We have kids. We have contests with kids.
Oh,
see how long you can go without laughing. Oh,
there's the bracelets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, posters. I mean, there's all kinds of resources here. Books. All right, I know. Look at that. And racism. I know we didn't. So let's go right back just for National Coming Out Day. Racism. I know these are also things that you incorporate into the programs, really to recognize diversity. And look at this book. Got this book too, folks. I got this book too. I know. So
he's amazing. He is amazing. He's one of the kids who says, "Hey U.G.L.Y saved his life," and he went on to save the life of other kids while he was doing work of Hey U.G.L.Y, because he goes into schools and he does assemblies, and it's suicide, bullying, and gang prevention. He's just an amazing, amazing young man. I hope you can have him on the show because he can help a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to
Victor. He's also a rapper.
I saw that on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I got to figure out a way to connect with him.
Yeah, he's very cool.
Very cool. So nice. Thank you, Gabe, for
the. We're talking about Coming Out Day. On our LGBTQ plus page, there is a section where we have young people giving advice on coming out. So anybody who's thinking about it and they're scared, they don't know what to do, go there. There's some really wise people that have come out giving you advice on how to go through that challenge.
Yeah.
And that joyous event, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it should be. It should not be pain, but it's unfortunate how society is. And now you and your team of volunteers, amazing volunteers, really take your time to go out into schools and provide this awareness, have these conversations, meet with kids. And I know maybe more so pre-COVID, but how's that going now? Is that something that's picking back up?
COVID, it completely stopped. So
yeah.
We were that was one of our sources of income that helps to pay the bills and keep the lights on. Yeah. But everything we do is, nobody has a company car. We all work virtually, so we don't have to spend money for offices and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it was really, really bad. So in answer to that, we came up with a video school assembly that schools can use in their entirety, and it deals with so many. I don't know if you can pull that up or not. Video school assembly.
You know what?
Look on the homepage. There's
on the homepage. Yep.
It says trending, the trending section. Those little words, trending, and then down.
I got it here. Wait, here we go. All right. So this is your homepage, right?
Yep. Scroll down a little. This is awesome. This is keep going. Keep going. Oh no, go back up a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Up.
We're learning. Because I was on.
I'm sorry. You're on the important info thing. You need to go back to the homepage if you don't mind.
This one right here. Let's see.
Yep.
It's loading slow.
There you go. Scroll down. It'll be on the right-hand side right there, trending.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see video school assembly.
Oh, on the bottom. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, wonderful. So this has been a way to still stay connected with faculty, educational systems.
Well, they can show it in individual classrooms because they're not getting together in big rooms anymore for the assembly. And they also can break it down into segments because, as you see, it covers so many different subject matters. We wanted to make sure it was really, 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 really powerful. And we have a lot of young people that are giving advice to young people, which is everything that we're all about.
I think that's wonderful. And that's one of the things that fascinates me the most was, there's the cards. That fascinates me the most was that it's peer to peer. So powerful.
Yes. Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't want anybody to tell me anything. I knew had all the answers. And so we approach it from that perspective also,
Yeah. Oh, that's your Facebook page. I was trying to get to this one. Hey, LGBT. There, I found it. All right. For National Coming Out. So there we go.
And that's my former friend and co-host, Michelle, who was a wonderful, wonderful teacher. and she was a borderline personality disorder, and we lost her to suicide. So that suicide prevention is huge, huge in my mission. And I think the reason why I was put on this earth to be able to do that and also do what we can to end racism.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Discrimination for all groups. There's just so many groups that are struggling, and COVID, and then just lack of resources, lack of services. It's just been really sad. But yeah, I mean, again, you're just got so much here, and I'm loving it.
All sorts of resources that you can use right there.
Yeah. I mean, you've been working on this really hard. I can tell for a long, long time. Like, so much commitment and so much passion. But I agree, suicide, talking about suicide awareness, saving lives, it's like a huge mission, a huge calling. I love to bring it up every episode to, make sure that people know that it's okay to talk to others, ask them if they're feeling suicidal, honoring other individuals, like their needs, and just paying attention, right? Being compassionate.
And here's one of the keys, DJ. I was going to speak at an event where I knew that before I came out, there was going to be a boy there that had done a suicide pact with 2 other students at his school. Mm-hmm. And one of the people that we worked with went over and talked to him and spent 2 hours crying, laughing, talking to him about suicide prevention. So I'm driving out there and going, what can I say specifically to this one person? And I didn't know who the boy was, to help them to really deeply understand that the pain that's causing you to have these thoughts is not going to last forever. So, and everything I do, I think, is a co-creation from someplace else. Ideas come in there. So I get up there and I go, okay, I'm going to talk to you about the pain of being bullied and being suicidal. And I don't want to diminish that pain. But here's this example that I have. Anybody here ever have a sore throat? And everybody raises their hand. And I go, you remember how much it hurt? And every time you swallowed, you thought it was never going to go away? And they go, yeah. And I go, sometimes it was so bad you even went to a doctor for it, right? And they go, yeah. And I go, but it went away, didn't it? And they go, yeah. I go, you still remember, but it doesn't hurt anymore, does it? And they go, no. I go, that's it. The pain will go away. You'll remember being in that dark place, but the light will shine and you will come out of it. And maybe, just maybe, you're going through all of this because it's going to help you become who it is. Excuse me, my little massage just went on. Who it is you're supposed to be. Because everything that I went through when I was a kid, I wouldn't give up 1 second of it because it helped me to be doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Taking the pain that I had, taking the pain that I inflicted on other people, and be able to empower others not to have to be in that place.
Right.
Huge
mission. The way you turned it around. I mean, it's so powerful. And really, when people are able to take that is inside them and turn it into something to move others forward, to help others help others heal, find healing, find strategies to empower themselves, right? Find their own self-worth. So it's all worthy. It's all so worthy, so relevant, so important. And now even more than ever. I mean, yeah. Oh gosh, any more questions? I'm trying to come up with some more questions. I know we talked about the book. We talked about so many things. We've talked about you being a bully in childhood and the program.
Going back to suicide prevention, I was talking to a woman as I was buying something at a gift store. And we started talking about Hey U.G.L.Y and all this other kind of stuff. And that were suicide prevention. And she said when she was younger, she thought about killing herself. And she went on and on and on to talk about it. And I said to her, and I go, but how is your life now? And she goes, I am so happy. I've got 2 kids, all this other kind of stuff. And I said, do you mind sharing the story with me? And I think I'm going to start a page on our website called Why I'm Glad I Didn't Kill Myself. Well, my board didn't like that name, so they made me change it to Why I'm Glad I Didn't Take My Life. But there's a whole page on that that is videos of young people that were suicidal that actually are saying that, but I didn't. And wow, look at my life now. Look at what I'm doing. Look at how I'm paying it forward, that kind of thing. So if you know anybody who's in trouble, we have a whole section called suicidal ? And, the number two killer of young people in America is suicide. And the suicide, the number one is because boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend breakup, or it's also being bullied. So there's a lot of pain out there. And anything we can do to help people get out of the pain and choose to change, right?
Oh, yeah.
Choose to change. When I check out at a grocery store or something, they'll go, have a good day. And I just look at them and I go, I always do. And then it gets them to go, you know what? I do too. Or it gets them to change, what they're thinking about. Just different ways to look at things.
It is. And you do have to want to be able to change. If you're the bully, to want to change that behavior and stop bullying others, own it. I can only imagine, what that's got to go through and what it really takes to work within yourself.
Exactly.
To make that growth, that progress, to be, not that hurtful person that is still carrying that hurt, that is carrying that anguish or that anger.
Well, and then what happens too? I mean, there's school shootings. We have a whole section on there called Bullying Bystanders Unite, hashtag never again allow bullying. And we worked with the Michigan City Police on what to do if you see bullying so that you can stop it, because the bystander who does nothing suffers greatly. They suffer all sorts of different ways. Sometimes they're even suicidal because they didn't do anything to help another person. That's all on the Never Again Allow Bullying page. If you go back to that trending section again on the website, you'll see Never Again Allow Bullying. And so we have an app called I See Bullying, ISEE Bullying, and you pull it up on your Android. It's only available on Android, sorry, but because Apple's really hard to deal with on that kind of stuff. And it first you say, are you alone? Are you with others? Is it verbal? Is it physical? And then it'll tell you what to do to safely, because the number one reason why people don't come to the aid of someone being bullied is they're afraid that the bully is going to come after them. And the number two reason is they don't want to be seen as a snitch. But we say, if being a snitch could save someone's life, because these kids that are being bullied, there have been reports about the school shooters. They've all been bullied. And so they've got all that pain inside of them and they don't know what to do with them. So what do? They get a gun, and it's all there on that page, all the statistics and all of that gives you the background of the shooter. And anything we can do, my God,
So this is really just more than bullying. I mean, this just continues to grow and grow and can grow into like sheer devastation and tragedy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've got how many I'm sure my parents were bullied. I'm sure some of our government officials were bullied or still are bullies. Like I was an adult. I had a staff of people and I was bullying them. So
I have a question, because we say bully, but what are some bullying behaviors? Can you specify?
Bullying behavior, trying to make you feel bad about yourself, because I don't feel good about myself. So if I can make you feel bad about yourself, I'll feel better. Bullying behavior, making up lies about you. Pardon me?
Like a condescending comment, like a backhanded compliment. Things like that, behaviors like that, right?
Oh yeah. And then having a posse, right? And having the posse hate the other person. When I would X somebody out of the group, if any of them start being nice to that person, then I'd X them out.
Right. There's retaliation, of course. There's that's part of maintaining the control, maintaining that power.
Yeah.
Talk about cyberbullying. Let's talk a little bit about specifically cyberbullying, because that just triggered when you said the like your group, your posse, right? But now cyberbullying is different. But still, it's the same in the sense where you can really have a group gang on someone.
Well, we've taken a different approach to cyberbullying, and
Ooh.
we have a whole page on that and what to do. But the thing of it is 50% of kids, 50% of kids, and maybe even adults, are being cyberbullied. So we're like, welcome to the club. Let's all get together, all of us that have been cyberbullied, and do what we can to stop this. And here are things that we can do to stop it. And one of the things is not to let someone else's negativity stick on our bodies. If you are being bullied, I can give you some advice. If you stand up to the bully will not bother you anymore. When we were working with those kids who started National Stop Bullying Day, week, month, blah, 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 they came up with a saying. And the saying is, if someone's bullying you, look at them with all the love in your heart that you possibly can and say, who's treating you so mean that you have to be mean to me? Who's treating you so mean that you have to be mean to me? So that's the whole thing with the cyberbullying too. What can we do joining together to not give our power away to those people? So if you are feeling bad about yourself, one of the things we ask the students, do you think acting like you have good self-esteem will help you to have good self-esteem? And unanimously, it's yes. And if you watch some of the YouTube things on that subject matter, yes. Keep practicing over and over, loving yourself. Keep practicing. Cancel out the negative thoughts you have about yourself, because any negative thought you have about yourself is a lie. Somebody put it there, a teacher, a friend, a parent, or something like that. It is a lie. We are all born with joy and love inside of us. It's always there and never gets any smaller. Some of these fear energies might jump into the bowl of ourselves, but it doesn't diminish at all the love and fear. So when we recognize that a love energy is there, we're going, what are we afraid of? For example, jealousy. If you were feeling jealous, what are you afraid of? Think about it.
Maybe
you're jealous of your boyfriend.
Not being good enough, failure. Like, why do they get it and I don't? Why isn't that me? Like, why am I the loser here? Why am I losing?
Right. Maybe he's going to leave me. Right. I'm afraid he might leave me. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. All that other kind of stuff. Well, and then you have to look at it and say, okay, if that's my fear, do I want to feel that way? And really sit with it. Feel, really sit with it. And if I don't want to give that power over me, what do I want to do? What can I do? And that's where the healing comes in, because that's when you make the choice. And that's when you look for the opposite card and focus your energy on that. Because if you have all these negative thoughts about yourself, that translates. Okay, do you remember slide projectors? Anybody?
Yeah.
Slide projectors. Okay.
Yeah, I remember those.
When you have one slide in there, and this is from Michael Tamura, my teacher who wrote the book, You Are the Answer. If there's just one slide in there, that's you, and you're shining your light, and everybody can see you perfect. But then all of a sudden, you might have another slide behind there, and that's not feeling good enough. So what happens to that picture of you? Gets a little blurred, right? And then you have another one, not good enough. And then you have another one in there, stupid. And then you have another one behind it. Before you know it, you are blurred. So when people see you walking down the hallway, they feel this energy. And if you're a bully, you zero into that like radar. And you go and they become a victim. So if you are a victim, pretend like you have great self-esteem, work at it. Go to our website. We have a page called Self-Bullying, because one of the biggest issues in mental health, which is a huge issue for us, is the messages that we say to ourselves over and over and over. Someone says something bad to you once, you repeat it to yourself 3,000 times, right?
Yes.
And it's
you can't let it go.
It's a lie. You're awesome. We're all awesome. We're all okay. We're all good enough.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are. I want to say hi to Carl. Make sure I said hi to Carl. Thank you for stopping by. James, let me see your question. How should one approach someone who's suicidal? Great question.
Okay, this is a great question.
Thank you for asking that.
Ask them. You ask them. When I was suicidal once, what saved my life is someone came up to me and they said, "Are you suicidal?" I had a young man say to me on the phone, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I tried to kill myself. And I said, "Where are you?" I'm taking you to lunch. And I met this person. And I said, "Why did you want to kill yourself?" Let them talk. Let them talk. And then help them to get help. But
Yes. Let me
don't
put up a number.
Pardon me?
Put up the National Suicide Prevention number too.
Right.
Or text. Texting's available. If someone doesn't want to call, they can
Right.
text. So that's
And then
great.
if you know, and then if they are suicidal and you're talking to them, have them go to our page, Why I'm Glad I Didn't Take My Life. It has saved lives of kids all over the world. All
So
over
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And young people too, a 25-year-old girl from Australia. So
it's important. Let's see what Alex has to say. I have thought that our society's focus on having high self-esteem causes some of the bullying. Self-esteem many times has a comparative aspect, so people will raise their self-esteem by putting others down so they feel better. Yeah, self-compassion from Chris. Thank you, Alex, for sharing. Yes.
but it doesn't. Putting other people down does not raise your self-esteem. There is that place inside of you that just knows what you're doing is wrong. Like I said, that voice kept saying, "Shut up, just shut up." But it's, I don't know how to explain it other than get help. Get help.
Right. Oh, goodness. Okay. Wow. We're coming up on an hour. Where does the time go, my friend Betty? You've got, like, it seems like you have a page for that. I have a page for that. By the way, I have an app for that. Android only, but I have an app for that. So keep growing. Keep doing all this amazing work. I've learned so much. I hope I didn't miss anything. I know, it's such a heavy topic, and really we took some windy turns down some dark holes that I really didn't anticipate. Some awareness, some things that were really brought to light of what bullying can be, what it can look like, how where you can receive it from. I really didn't realize, like, maybe your home can actually be more of a primary place of receiving that type of bullying. We didn't talk about siblings or relatives.
Real quick, I just have to throw this out.
Yeah.
Teachers. I have a guy that I know, Jerry, and when he was a young boy, a nun pulled him out of class and told him because he did bad in a class, God was very unhappy with him. This guy went on to be a PhD, big shot at Intel. He had 250 people working for him. It wasn't until he was 53 years old and he was in Rome and a priest came up to him and started talking to him. And he asked him what he did and he told him. And the priest said to him, "God is very happy with you." That he finally got that monkey off of his back. He carried that through his whole life, and look how successful he was. And so my prayer for everyone is that all of that negative stuff that someone has implanted in you, don't believe it. They're all lies. Go to the self-bullying page. If there's no place else on our website that you go to self-bullying. There's videos there. There's quotes. It was like Pink. Pink. She said, I used to obsess about my thighs until I went to a hospital and I saw a girl with no legs. We have all kinds of stuff on that page. I highly recommend it. And you can email me. The email at the top of the website, preventbullyingnow@heyugly.org. It goes straight to me. So I'd be glad to help anybody that might need
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get everyone reach out to Betty. Where can so your email's the best. You've made this very clear. You're not really super active on LinkedIn, but your website, your email is the way to get communicating with you.
Correct.
So let's see. I want to
please, like all of our social media, which is on our website also, we really need to start building our followers and people that might want to volunteer and things like that. And donations. I mean, we survive on donations for sure.
See if I'm going to pump out some of your social media pages, and then everyone can hopefully go out there and
it's heyugly.org. I mean, it's heyugly.org. Hey Ugly org will get you into Instagram, will get you into Twitter, will get you into Facebook.
Yeah, I'm putting them out there now. I got your Facebook, I got your Twitter, and I don't want to get lost here. Oh goodness, I wish we had like another hour because it's just so much goodness. You have your YouTube, right?
And look how powerful your DJ, your show is so powerful. You should be so proud of yourself. And look at all the people that you're helping through your show. So bravo. Bravo to you.
This is just a little passion, me wanting to advocate for this kind of stuff because I find it really important. And, just talk about all that mayhem we have. We all have it. We got to get it out. We're all, should be here to support each other and not point fingers and hurt. But that's just me. And I got your Instagram here too. So that's it. I got most of your social media pages out there. And I think I'm going to pop your website, which is really easy to remember and you can't go wrong. Like, Hey Ugly, like how could you not remember that? Powerful. Thank you, Betty. This has been so much fun. I love the cards. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Beautiful, inspirational, so fun. I'm going to see how I can use these with my little guy.
Awesome.
You can even use these to play with like feeling words, right? I mean, there's just so many creative things.
There's so many different things you can do. You just pull up one of the fear energy cards, and then you say, which one of these things do you think could cause somebody to bully? And that starts a whole conversation.
Yes.
And kids will just start talking like that.
Yeah. And that's important. That is, get kids to talking. Ask them.
Yeah.
Get them to let it out. You'll find out real quick what's really going on, right?
Right.
So, and pamphlets, and you send these out if organizations want more information on how they can support and you'll send them out more information too.
Right.
I see. This is great. This is nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I think anybody have any questions? Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Rosemary. Appreciate your support. Mackenzie, always a pleasure. The best mod ever. Finding Cherry. I could go on and on. Thank you for the show of hands. Thank you for the show of hands. James, always a super supporter. Alex is here. I know I saw Alex. So thanks, Alex, for stopping by. You are great. So I know Gabe was here and Robert was here earlier and Carl was here and I'm trying to go do. Be nice, be courteous. All right, Betty. Well, it's been a true pleasure, a true honor to have you on the show. I look forward to us collaborating again. If you need anything from me, I'll be here. Always to advocate. This is, always wanting to learn more and how we can help our youth or adolescents as they move on with their lives into adulthood. You know what? One thing I'm going to make as we close out in the last 2 minutes, you made a point that you often don't realize the impact you make till years later.
Right.
You don't realize that you've saved a life till years later. And I've come to this in my own way with people have come back, kids that I worked with in foster care. They said, you know what? Like you're the one that was there for me. You were the one that really like made an impact on me. And that's for me, just so valuable that so for me, this show, it continues, as the audience, as we open up, we share what we're going through and we normalize it. Like, thoughts of suicide. Let's normalize that. Like, let's not make that so stigmatized and so taboo. It's people are dying.
Right.
It's that simple.
Right.
So I'm always here to talk about it. But thank you so much. I'm just so happy. It's been a great conversation and just getting your wonderful stuff this week and just playing around with it. So
okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any final words on the last note? That's it. Just check out her website. That's it, right?
Exactly.
Connect with you. All right. Well, we're going to say our goodbyes. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye-bye.